Hey Toy fans, D21 Beast Rob here, back with my first video in probably a couple of months now. I've been up to stuff, I guess you could say. I'm a video editor by profession, and life just got really busy, guys, and I'm sorry to say I had to take a break at home for a while. I've been working really hard. I got a promotion out of it, which is great. But it was just really hard for me to work all day long and then come home and do more videos at night. So I had to stop at home for a little bit. I had to take some time to just do some other things finally. But I just wanted to do this vlog. I've purchased a few figures over the last couple of months, and I've gone some places and done some toy hunting, so I just kind of wanted to share, I guess, my haul that I've been accumulating with you guys. I don't know that this is going to be a true return to form for me, but I just wanted to catch up with you guys, see how you're doing, let you guys know that I'm still around. If you haven't been following me on Twitter or Instagram, you've probably been wondering what happened to my channel. So that's the shortest version of what happened. Busy life, videos for a living, didn't want to do videos at home, needed a break. It was just really hard, 8 hours a day, and then another, 6 when I got home working on reviews and filming and all that stuff. So anyway, here we are. As you can see here, I do have the Ghost Rider. We're not calling these Legendary Riders, are we? I don't know. Marvel Legends Vehicle 2-packs. I had to get my hands on Ghost Rider. I actually went to Branson, Missouri, probably back in April now, and found a Toys R Us that was still open, which is unusual for me. I live in the middle of Missouri, and all of the Toys R Us's in middle of Missouri closed in early March. So all of you guys on the East and West Coast that just had to deal with your stores closing, imagine that, but several months back, and my stores never got any new product for 2018. So my first shot to get at this figure pack, at least at a discount, was when I was on vacation in Branson and found a Toys R Us Express, and they had this thing for about $10 off. So I thought that was a pretty good deal, and I went ahead and picked it up. I might still do the Black Widow motorcycle 2-pack, I'm not sure. I've got my eye on the Logan motorcycle set, but I really don't like the Logan head. The patch head's pretty cool, but I don't like the way the Logan head looks, so I'm not sold yet on picking up that set, but I had to get Ghost Rider. I was disappointed during the Rhino Wave when we got a Ghost Rider and we didn't get a motorcycle with him, so pretty excited to have this set, and can't wait to get this sucker open. All right, so while I was also in Branson, I went to a Disney store. I don't have any near me, and I found some Marvel Selects on clearance, and I decided to pick up this Marvel Select Black Widow. I mean, she was only, as you can see here, $6. Let me see if I can get my camera repositioned. But she was only about $6. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. I like that she came with the mini Ant-Man figure, and think she has a pretty cool display base there in the back. So I'm probably going to try to set this up with the few select figures that I've got. But I thought it was a pretty good deal. Now, I do notice that she's got trigger finger hands, and she doesn't seem to have any guns in the package. So she'll probably have to borrow from my Marvel Legends. That's a bit disappointing, and I'm sure they were just kind of afraid of being too violent with the toys in a Disney store, which is, again, a bit of a frustration, I suppose. But still, I think the figure looks pretty good. I think it looks better than the most recent MCU Black Widow Select figure. So definitely excited to check that out. Plus, I've got a Select Colossus already, so it'll be nice to have a little Russian pairing there. And then next, I was at a Target recently and actually finally found some of the X-Men Apocalypse Wave Legends. Now, these figures I've already got pre-ordered through Dorkside Toys, but those guys are really slow to fulfill pre-orders, so if I can find them in the wild first, I'd certainly like to. And I was able to get Wolverine, Multiple Man, Storm, and Gladiator. So very happy to have these guys added to my collection. As you can see, Multiple Man's Build-A-Figure piece is already missing. I've already got multiple Mans, and I'll show you the next one I've got here in a second. But Legends are getting expensive, guys, so I decided to try to sell his Build-A-Figure piece on eBay, so we'll see how that goes for me. I'm sure everybody's going to be hawking that thing since everybody wants to army build these guys, but I thought I'd give it a shot here early on and see how I do. But really excited to have this Wolverine figure available to add to my collection. If you guys have followed me for any number of time, you know that I think the perfect Wolverine figure we've had so far was from Toy Biz during the X-Men Classic days, and in fact, I'll tell you what, guys, bear with me. I'm going to get that so we can kind of hold him up and compare him here in just a second. We'll be right back. All right, so sorry for any annoying microphone sounds there while I went and grabbed Wolverine, but this is the X-Men Classics Wolverine. It's a height that is perfect for the character, and he's got some great paint shading on him. The only downside is that he's got an action feature on the back that you'd have to plug a trigger handle into, and it makes him claw swipe. Really, though, his articulation's pretty great. He's a little bit hindered in the shoulders, but he's got a great look to him, and he's, the perfect 90s era, or even 70s if you'd prefer, era Wolverine. So I've had this guy in my collection, a prize of my collection, for quite some time. But it looks like he is about to get replaced by this new Wolverine figure. It looks like actually the Toy Biz version is a little bit shorter. So be interested to get those guys side by side and see what they look like once he's actually out of the box. But I was at a Target. The Target that I was at actually had all of these guys you see here. The Psylocke was already gone, so I don't know if it was the new purple-haired Psylocke, or I don't know if it was the black-haired Psylocke. But they did have a Sabretooth, and they did have a Magneto. Sabretooth had a permanent beauty mark kind of molded into his face. There was some sort of black paint error actually molded into the plastic of his face, so I decided to pass on him. And the Magneto, the paintwork was super messy around his helmet, so I decided to go ahead and pass on him as well, hoping that I can find a better version sometime later. So, very excited to get those guys. But then, my good buddy Ryan, you guys may have seen a few things he's donated to my channel in the past. He actually found a multiple man for me at a Walgreens in his area. He lives in the southern part of the state, or maybe it's eastern now. Actually, I'm not sure, Ryan. Sorry. But he actually got me another multiple man. And again, his Apocalypse Build-A-Figure piece is missing because I had to compare the two. I wanted to sell, or keep the best one and sell the other one. They're honestly both the same. So I have my second multiple man. I'd like to try to get 3 of these guys before I'm all said and done. And then I was also out at a GameStop recently and found Elektra. So I'm excited to be able to add Elektra to my collection as well. Now, Elektra, I had the original Toy Biz version way back in the day. I actually never took her out of the box. I sold her packaged. I had the Toy Biz Rogue figure first, actually, I think, before I managed to get my hands on the Elektra. And I was very disappointed with the articulation, so I kept Elektra for prestige back in the day. And then I ended up selling her at convention, which is probably the best move because that figure just wasn't that great. But I missed the Hasbro Elektra figure that was also released as a Scroll Elektra variant. My Toys R Us in my area didn't ever get those 2-packs in. So I never had a chance to get the Hasbro version. So when I saw this at GameStop, I knew it was finally time to fill a hole that my collection has had for, man, maybe 10 years now. I've got several Daredevils, but I haven't had an Elektra that I've been able to actually pair up with him for quite some time, really ever, if we're counting loose figures. I did have the Marvel Select Elektra, I guess. That was probably my first Select figure I ever purchased, was the Marvel Select Elektra, but she barely articulated. She looked great, but she barely articulated. So this actually looks like the Marvel Select Elektra, just with a lot more articulation. So very, very happy to have her added to my collection as well. Now, Ryan also sent a few other things along with the multiple man, a few surprises that he wanted to share with me. The first one we're going to take a look at here is another Toy Biz Blast from the Past figure. We've got the Ben Affleck Daredevil figure. This is another one that I had boxed way back in the day. Never opened it, ended up selling it at convention, but I'm actually kind of glad to have a loose version. I know toy making standards have definitely changed. Wow, I'm really zoomed out here. Toy making standards have definitely changed since Toy Biz released this figure, but it's fun just as a piece of movie history to have this, to be able to put with all of the rest of my movie figures from that era. There's a little bit of paint wear on the nose. I don't know if that's coming through here. Let me reposition my lights. I think the likeness is still pretty good for the era it was made. It does look like Ben Affleck. There's no mistaking that. But yeah, you can see he's missing some paint on the nose. It's great that he's got an actual chain on his billy clubs, but I'm not noticing the little devil face motif that was actually at the top of these billy clubs. So yeah, I guess that they did the best they could back then. And then articulation-wise, of course, you guys all know, this thing was kind of a train wreck. Even back when Toy Biz was doing all sorts of unnecessary articulation on their Marvel Legends figures, this Daredevil figure, who I believe was reused from a Red Skull. If it went the other way, maybe I have that backwards, but either way, both figures have the same legs for sure. But he's got no hinges in the shoulders, single jointed elbows. It's interesting how the wrist works here. It actually swivels at the wrist, but then it has a hinge to go back and forward. So now they just put that all in the same joint pretty much. But he has the finger articulation, which does have painted knuckles, which is nice. And then he, of course, swivels at the waist. No ab crunch, really. Legs can only bend forward. Ugh, that feels uncomfortably tight to move. Yeah. Anyway, single jointed knees. That's, of course, changed now. He does have, a pivoting ankle, which is nice. But it's that old, I don't know what you want to call it. It's like a rocker joint at the bottom of a hinge joint. It's just kind of weird and clunky. Anyway, I'm spending too much time on this figure, but, I'm glad to just have that for the prestige to have him back in my collection, so that's pretty great. The other thing that Ryan sent me that I completely did not expect, and let's see if I've got enough room on the camera to show this off, he sent me this Terminator doll, I guess. I mean, it's articulated. Let me see if I can get the box standing. I may just have to pull my camera back. Anyway, the box that was sent in got damaged by the post office. I don't know how much of this damage existed previously, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to get this thing to stand up on its own. I'm going to have to keep holding it. But what it is it's a doll from the Terminator 3D experience at Universal Studios. It even still has the Universal Studios price tag at the bottom. 30 bucks, what, in 1992? Maybe that would be equivalent to 40 bucks today. I'm not really sure how the toy market would handle that. But inside you can see here is a fully fledged, of the era, Terminator doll. So I actually think that's really cool. I love that there's battle damage that's coming through on the pants and on the shirt. This box is pretty damaged, so I'm thinking I'm going to actually just go ahead and open this guy. Maybe I'll do an individual breakdown of this guy in a separate video. And I say that, and maybe I'll never get around to it, but I'm really going to try. I really like this guy, and I want to be able to show it off. He's got a shotgun in the back and his grenade launcher there on the other side. See if we can see the boots at all. Not really a good look at the feet from this angle. Anyway, so really fun, man. Like, oh gosh, it's made by Kenner. How about that? Was not expecting this at all. I'm a big Terminator fan. I've got the NECA movie figures, the Ultimate Terminator, the Sarah Connor, and the T-1000. And I've got various different formats of the actual movies themselves. And despite my better judgment, I am looking forward to that new movie that Linda Hamill's finally coming back for. So really, this is a cool piece. I can't wait to check it out. Again, maybe I'll go ahead and film a separate video right now, but I just wanted to share with you guys the things I collected lately. I think I've had some pretty good luck with toys lately. I haven't been purchasing everything that comes out, but just thought I'd have a fun haul to share with you guys, and just wanted to check in with you guys too. So thanks for joining me today. If you guys want to keep up with me, or if you have been keeping up with me, you know where to find me on Twitter and Instagram at D21Beast, and I'll see you guys next time.